The old house we bought has lots of electrical issues, and so I'm replacing things in stages, working to make things work. Your electricity has to work. And so in this video today, I'm in part 2 of replacing things in a circuit that's gone bad. So the circuit's bad because it has outdoor elements that were getting wet, but part of that is correcting other things which have been incorrect over time. So in today's video, my goal is to install a smart switch for the back outlet. With that, I'm going to be using some Wago lever connectors, and I'm also going to run into a little issue here with some old wiring. It's a bit of a mystery, maybe solved. Maybe. So this is part 2, working on a circuit that I've had issues with. The circuit runs outside, and that's where we were getting some moisture in things. You can see the first video here where I rewired an outside light and installed an outside outlet along with that. So what was supposed to be a video about replacing a switch here, which would take, 45 minutes maybe, tops, became a 3-hour ordeal. And part of the reason I'm going to show you is because of this. Hey, I'm Colby. I'm a real person, a real human making real life videos. Today, I am working to replace the indoor part. And I have 2 switches here. This is the way it was wired. So the wiring comes in, I believe, we're going to look. The wiring's going to come in and then it gets split. One goes to the light and the other goes to the garage. Well, that garage light, the garage wiring is really bad. So we're actually going to disconnect it here and redo it. That's a future video. But what I'm going to put in here is this Tapo smart switch. And this will not only allow me to have a setting, a schedule for my outdoor lights, be able to control it and whatnot, but it's going to help this be connected to the house as a whole. And so I've already used a few of these Tapo smart switches. I really like them. They're reliable. They're inexpensive, really, compared to everything else out there. They have a nice profile. They don't go too deep, so you can install them even in old places like this. So we're going to disconnect the wire in there. I've already turned it off. I'm still going to use my tester, though, and show you. You got to be careful when you do this. I'm not an electrician. I'm not trying to give you electrical instruction, just showing you my DIY project. And if you are not confident doing wiring, then call someone who can. Call an electrician. This is what old house wiring looks like. And sometimes it's even hard to tell which wire is the white wire in here. What you don't have is a ground. We do have neutrals, but I've also got to figure out which wire is going where in terms of outside before I can disconnect one and not the other. Now there is a little clue. I've been using this one for the light switch. So I got to trace these wires to see, and then this wire is the one going to the garage that we're going to just permanently disconnect. What I was saying about the white being hard to see is the case. And so what you have is the white wires are in the back and they are just pulled together. And so I'm gonna have to undo that and to make this work. All right, these are actually hot now because I needed to see what we're getting power from, because these 2 wires that are both coming in, this is not normal. Okay, that one's hot. They're both hot, and these are not. That's what I thought. So right there is the start of the problems. Is me thinking that there were 2 hot wires in this box. Now, I was getting 2 hot wires, but I couldn't figure out why. Why was I getting 2 hot wires? You can't run 2 different circuits into the same box, and when I flip the circuit off, there's no power to it. So why in the world are the 2 hot wires? Now this is the 3rd old house that I've lived in, and in all of those I've had to do some wiring, just because old houses and wiring, you really have to know how to do some. I've never seen this before. Makes me wonder if they had it wired differently at some point in the past, and then someone has converted it to this. I'm gonna go turn it back off and then we'll try to trace a bit. All right, everything's cold now. I tested it before I turned the camera on. I didn't want to die on live video. I haven't decided though what to do with the extra hot wire that I have here. And then I also noticed that these two hot wires were taped together. They came in separate, taped together, and then split separately. So if you're an electrician, you already know what's happening here, I would imagine. But if you're a DIY person, then this may be new to you also. So this actually set me back because I labeled both of those wires as hot and then proceeded to cap one off and hook up my system. Well, the system didn't work because I capped off a dead wire. They weren't both hot. So what I discovered when I went back and looked more closely and unraveled these wires is this. They were actually braided together in the middle of the run, and then they came back out separately. And I should have looked, but just getting into this old tape and wires is difficult, so I just cut them cleanly and carried on with what was coming in. And I shouldn't have. I should have really investigated to figure out what was going on here. My thinking initially was, hey, I don't want to damage those by trying to cut them apart. And then I just cut it shorter and pigtailed out. And that's where I got all confused. So here's the answer. And if you see a similar thing in your old house or newer house, who knows? But this is what was going on there. And so that really added because I didn't properly understand the wiring coming into this box. Because I didn't understand it, it took me 3 hours to properly set up something that really should have taken 40 minutes. And if I had taken a little bit more time to investigate this, or now I know if I see this again somewhere in my old house, of course there's not much of this wiring left. But if I find it again, I'll know what's going on next time. Now we cut the whites and figure out which white goes to which. And then we will connect our new white to the two existing ones. So as I said at the beginning, this is part 2 of a rewiring of this circuit, which runs outside partially, but also goes to our dining room and then a light on our stairs. So it's complicated. Old houses and the circuit's been redone. Probably originally only had 2 circuits in the whole house, and now I have about 30. So this one it's a problem, but we're fixing it. So I've already got the outside partially corrected. The weird thing to me is that this is a 15 amp circuit, and one of these split wires was running to the garage for all of its power. That was not good. We're fixing it. All right, so old school electricians may not be on board yet with these, but these are so much easier to use. So these lever connectors from Wago, and you just pop your wire in there. So you don't want any bare wire sticking out. So you want to clean it so it goes in just the right amount. And then once this is closed, you have a secure wire. So pops open, it will stay open until you get the wire in, and then once you close it, it's very secure. So this did take a lot longer than it should have, but also didn't take as long as it could have if I hadn't been using these new lever nuts, the Wago lever nut. The reason why it was easier this way is because I was able to pull these apart without doing a whole lot of unraveling. So obviously if I put twist nuts on these and then taped them, I would have had to come in and undo all that. If I'd put just the push connect nuts on these, still those are a lot more difficult to get loose. You have to twist back and forth. But with the Wago push to connect levers, not push connect, but the lever connectors, it's a lot easier to investigate then because I can undo a wire and pull it back out. And that made this job a lot easier. So in all, I'm accomplishing a couple of things with this rewiring. So I had this smart switch on hand, which I had intended for this back light and patio and my outside lights. And I wanted to get it installed. I also needed, once I decided on the outside, to disconnect the overhead electric wire. This is where it connects, and so I had to come down into this box to actually get it disconnected because I didn't want that still running hot all the way up to the outside of the house. And so now I have to go outside and cut it and get rid of it and get it out of here. But for now, it is disconnected, so it's going to be dead, and I won't have to worry about anything else except whatever kind of hole is up there where it comes out of the house. So we will disconnect it out there. That will be part of the next step of this project, along with figuring out how to run new electricity to the garage. It's going to be a new circuit. It's got to be a more powerful circuit, and I will probably bury it. So if you do projects, you know that no project ever goes as planned. There's always something that gets in the way, and sometimes it's more than one thing. And so you got to work around those. They take extra time, potential trips back to the hardware store. So we got this project done, but you saw the issues I ran into, and if you do something similar, your issues will probably be different. But for every project, there's the unforeseen thing. So you actually expect the unexpected, right? Always something. Thanks for watching.